Okay, we're in Sefer Yehoshua. We left off in Parak Yud Gimel, Pasuk Ches. We'll read through a few psukim, and then we'll add some analysis. The Pasuk says, over here opening up, talking about again the division of the land. The Pasuk says, Imo harivune hariu veini v'hagadi lochu nachlasam. With them, Reuven Gad, they took their inheritance, Asher nasan lehem Moshe be'ver Yarden, that was given to them. Moshe gave them on the other side of the Jordan River, Mizracha on the east, Kasher nasan lehem Moshe eved Hashem, just like Moshe gave them the servant of Hashem. Ma'arol Asher al sfas nachal Arnon ve'adgiru Asher b'socha nachal kol am yishor Diva Adivon. It was from Aror, which is the shore of the Nachal Arnon, and the city that is in the Nachal, and the entire plain from Divna until Divon. That's the river. The Nachal is the river. V'kol iri Sichon melech Amordi Asher Malach b'Cheshbon, and all of the cities of Sichon, the king of the Amori, that ruled in Cheshbon ad Gvul b'nei Ammon, until the border of b'nei Ammon. V'hagilad ugvul hagishuri v'hamachasi v'kol har Chermon v'kol habashan ad Silko, and the Gilad and the border of Geshuri and Machasi and the entire mountain of Chermon could be the same Har Chermon that people ski on nowadays. V'kol habashan ad Sichla, the entire Bashan until Sichla. Kol mamlachus oig v'bashan asher malach ba'ashtaros be'edrei, the entire kingdom of Og of Bashan, who ruled in Astros and Edrei, who Nishar Miyesar Rafaim, he remained from the giants, V'yaku Moshe v'Yarishim, and Moshe hit him and bequeathed that area. He inherited that area. He got it. That's what it's saying over here. He drove them out. Excuse me. V'Yarisha means he drove them out. V'lo horishu b'nei Yisrael, the children of the Jews, they didn't drive them out. As a Geshuri, the Geshuri, V'es Machasi and Machasi, V'yeshev Geshur Ma'achas B'ker Yisrael and Yomazeh. And because the Jews didn't drive them out, they sat there until this day. They're still there. Rak. Here's where things get interesting in Pasuk Yudalid. This is the focus over here. Hopefully, we'll have enough time to go through everything. Rak l'shevet halevi lo inosan nachala. However, for the tribe of Levi, no inheritance was given. No heritage. Nothing. They didn't get any land. Ishay Hashem Elokei Yisrael hu nachlaso. The offerings, the fire offerings of Hashem, the God of the Jews, that is their inheritance. Kashir dibar lo, as Hashem spoke to him. In other words, what we see from over here is that Levi didn't get anything. What does this mean when the pasuk says, like he spoke to him? So the Metzudos Sion over here says, make that the Metzudos David rather, LaMoshe. Like Hashem told Moshe. Hashem already told Moshe, this is not by chance, this is not by accident, that the tribe of Levi was going to be getting nothing. They would be getting nothing. The obvious question, which we're going to deal with right now and try to provide numerous answers to, is why is it fair that the tribe of Levi, who dedicated themselves fully to Hashem, don't get anything? Why is it that they don't get anything at all? How is that fair? Seemingly it should be the opposite. They should be getting extra. The Leviyim was the only one who didn't get any land. Everyone got land distribution. Land! Russia and Ukraine, that's what they're fighting over. That's what they want, more land. Why did the Leviyim get nothing? The Leviyim, what happened? We know we have 48 cities of refuge. The Iri Miklat, Makos, the whole Masechta deals with it. That was given to Levi. In other words, Levi survived through staka, charity. People would give a percentage from what they have to the Leviyim, 10% meiser. And in return, the Leviyim, they provided spiritual guidance for the Jews. Something fishy is going on over here. Levi, the tribe of Levi, is the crown jewel. The jewel in the crown of the Jews. They had loyalty. They were appointed as guarding. They were considered the princes, so to say, the models of holiness. to lead by example. And still, at their high position, they got no territory. They got donations. Why? The Dubna Magid answers this question by means of an analogy, as he usually does. Once upon a time, there was a wealthy merchant, and he was setting out for going a long trip. And he asked his sons to come with him. But he told his servants to remain at home so that he would avoid unnecessary expenses. And he told his servants to remain, and he expected his sons to help, also to help out some of the chores. After the trip began, what happened? It was obvious that the sons, they couldn't prepare food properly. Only one of the sons knew how to cook. The others depended on that one son. The brothers were concerned that maybe this one son who knows how to cook isn't going to cook for the whole family. He doesn't want to make such large quantities. So the father thought about this and anticipated it, and he said, I'm only going to buy the biggest cooking utensils and the biggest pots. This way he will have to cook the biggest ladles in large quantities, or else it will get burnt. Comes along the Dubna Magid and says, the Leviyim are compared to this young man who is the only one in the family who is able to cook. The Leviyim possess an ability that the rest of the Jewish people don't, bringing down Hashem's blessings to his people. If every single Levi was busy tending his field, he might only pray for himself. But guess what? All of the Jews need success with their crops, with their parnasa, with their finance, with making a living. The Levi, it's set up that the welfare, the money of the Levi that he's going to get is dependent upon the prosperity and the success that his Jewish brothers have. And therefore, to make sure that he's going to daven with greater devotion and enthusiasm, and that to Hashem, that he's going to be generous with these brachas that come to the Jews, the system was set up in this way. Another answer, the Lulman Ulamid relates, is that Hashem felt that it would be best for the tribe of Levi not to have territory because they function differently than other tribes. The task of Levi was to assist with the divine service in the Beis Hamikdash and to serve as teachers for the Jewish people. If Levi would be preoccupied with farming in their land, full-time jobs, serving in the army, they wouldn't have sufficient time and energy to apply themselves to their holy mission. Amazing how nothing changed after thousands of years. Not only in Israel were the Leviyim required to dedicate their lives to teach the Torah, and they were not allowed to farm or other forms of labor. But the truth of the matter is, if we go back to what happened in the time of Pharaoh in Egypt, 200 years of slavery in Egypt, Pharaoh himself required all Jews to work except for the tribe of Levi. They said they couldn't work because they were engaged in learning Torah. And Pharaoh consequently didn't force them to work. They were enslaved for the whole duration of the exile in Egypt. Imagine how different the situation would have been if they left to learn just one time to respond to Pharaoh's call. This is in the Shmos Rabbah, in Hey, Tez Zayin, also the Rambam in Hilchos Avodah Zarah, Perek Aleph Halacha Gimel. Those are two reasons as to why the tribe of Levi didn't get any land. Moam Loez over here provides yet another reason. Moam Loez explains the tribe of Levi didn't sin with the golden calf. Kisheva Levi lo chet be'egel l'chein rotza kadosh baruch hu bam vehevdilim lavodaso. Consequently, Hashem separated them so that the tribe of Levi will serve him. because the children of Aaron HaKohen, they were involved with the avoda, with the service of the Mishkan, and the other tribe of Levi, they would guard the situation. They would sing. They would sing Shira every single day, a song. We say it every single day. Hayom Yom Shal Leviyim Oyim Beis Hamikdash. Say the day. When we say the day, we commemorate the Beis Hamikdash. Why do we say it? Such and such is Monday, such and such is the second day of the week, the third day of the week, the fourth day of the week. Why do we say? We remember Shabbos every single day, as the Pasuk says, Zachar es Yoim HaShabbos Lakadsho. Remember Shabbos and sanctifying it. Sanctify it. We also remember the Leviyim. We remember two things when we say this. Now we could go back to our discussion. Since Hashem chose the tribe of Levi and they were separated to serve Him, you had judges, dayanim. You had Pesukim, people who made halachic rulings, leaders that came from Levi. Yoru mishpatecha liYaakov v'soyroscha liYisrael. They are going to teach the Torah. Hashem said they can't get any land. They can't be involved with war. Says Hashem, I'm their land. I'm their inheritance. They're like someone, they're like a family member, so to say. This is analogous to a king. And he equally distributed his Yerusha. How do you say Yerusha in English? His inheritance. He bequeathed his assets to his children. Equally. But the one son, he didn't give him anything. And he said, my dear son, don't be upset that I didn't give you anything. The reason why I didn't give you anything is because I want you to live in the palace forever. I want you to always be by me. That's why I didn't give you anything. Explains the Ma'am ways. That's what Hashem is saying. Don't worry, Levi. I didn't give you anything. I want you to always be by me. Says the Ma'am ways in conclusion. Now, due to our great iniquities, that we don't have a Beis Hamikdash and we don't have Kohanim Leviyim being involved with the service in the Beis Hamikdash anymore. So all we have is the Torah HaKadosh left. The scholars, the Talmidei Chachamim who are learning Torah without interruption, b'ritzifos, many hours a day, properly. Those are going to be the real teachers, not the guy who's spending half an hour a day learning. Great, it's half hour. But in order to truly be someone who is going to make halachic rulings and understand the Torah properly, it takes a lot of time and a lot of energy to do that. The Torah is very vast. You could spend 50 lifetimes dedicating yourself to learning Torah full time. You won't even scratch the surface, so to say. It's a tremendous amount. These people who are learning full time, these people who are learning properly without interruptions, these scholars, says the Moam Loez in his words, we have to realize they protect us from all bad. The entire universe they protect. And therefore the obligation is placed upon everyone to support them in an honorable way. That's why we also donate some money to support people learning in Israel. Because when I'm sleeping over here at night, at least I'm getting some reward for the people who are learning over there in Israel and who are helping support the entire world, even though I spend most of my day learning or teaching in both. And therefore, the obligation is upon us to take care of these people because they are the tribe of Levi, so to say. As the Rambam writes in Hilchos Shmita and Yovel, not just the tribe of Levi, anyone who wants to dedicate himself could do such a thing. The Rabbi Yaakov Galinsky over in Sefer Devarim and Parshas Re'eh on Yud Beis, Yud Tes, explains the pasuk, Hishamar Lacha Pein Ta'azov Es HaLevi. Guard yourself lest you forsake the Levi, you leave the Levi Kol Yamecha Al Admasa. Your entire, all of your days that you're on the land. He sets up the same question over here. End of the day, we got to support the Levi. How does this make sense? They're chosen to teach Torah. They have no portion in the land, as we said. They get meiser, tithes, grain, wine, oil. That's it. Tithing, giving meiser for all their produce is only rabbinic. It's only midrabanan. It's rabbinically required. And if there's no meiser, the donations meant for the poor people. What's going on over here? Why should they suffer such lack? Why can't they enjoy the same benefits of Pharaoh's priests? After all, when they were in Egypt, they were just learning. They got whatever they wanted. The Gemara in Nedarim and Daf Nun relates that Rabbi Akiva, when he became engaged to the daughter of the wealthy Kalva Savua, one of the wealthiest men in Yerushalayim, he was cut off. Kalva Savua didn't want his daughter to marry some simpleton, some lower class individual. So they slept in a barn, and every morning Rabbi Akiva would have to pick out the straw from his hair. Eliyahu Hanavi was called over to console them, and one day he appeared as a man and he said, "Could you please give me a bit of straw? My wife is giving birth, I have nothing for her and the baby to lie." And Rabbi Akiva told his wife, "Look, we're wealthier than even this individual. There's someone poorer than us, he doesn't even have straw. Let's be happy, at least we have straw. At least we have a barn, we have a roof over our head." So Rachel, Rabbi Akiva's wife, said, "Go and learn Torah full time." He went and learned Torah full time under Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Yehoshua. 12 years later, he returned and he ended up learning 24 years, 24,000 students. He became the great Rabbi Akiva. We know the whole story. And said, everything, all the Torah that I have is because of this woman over here. A lot to say on this. We don't have a lot of time though. In short, the Medrash relates the story of a pious individual who had no food and he went out to find means to provide for his family. Eliyahu Hanavi appeared to him. He sold himself to Eliyahu as a slave for 800,000 gold coins. Eliyahu got angels from high and helped him build a palace overnight, and he freed him the next morning. Other Midrashim mention Eliyahu Hanavi revealed hidden treasures to people and made them wealthy overnight. Why didn't Eliyahu Hanavi do the same for Rabbi Akiva? Why didn't he also build a palace over their head and make them wealthy miraculously? Explains Rabbi Galinsky, if he would have made them wealthy, they wouldn't have had any troubles, granted, but he would never become the Rabbi Akiva that he became. Rabbi Akiva was built from a life of poverty, of privation. That's what we have to realize. Same thing, tremendous elaboration on this, but we don't have time for the whole thing. You can look at the whole piece. But in short, this is why Hashem decreed that his chosen tribe would have nothing. And they would have to depend on others for their sustenance, to put food in their mouths. You know why? Because the Gemara in Sanhedrin Kufav. Rachmana liba ba'i. Hashem just wants our hearts. Lack brings a person to tefillah, like we said before, and causes him to cling to his creator. Like we just said about the connection between Miketz and Chanukah. Statistically, the wealthier a person is, the less connected to religion he is. That's why the tribe of Levi doesn't have anything to connect closer to Hashem. Those are 4 answers, which it's amazing, explaining something that happened thousands of years ago, which no longer applies, but nevertheless, the lessons, the ink is still wet, completely relevant. Any questions, comments on anything we did whatsoever?
Nope, I think we're good.
All right, pretty much straightforward. All right, so Mitzvah Hashem, tomorrow we will continue. We'll have to figure out with what. Figure it out.
I'll let the Rav know what my schedule is. Okay.
Okay, we'll be here 9:15 regardless.
Okay.
All right, David, how's the weather in Brooklyn?
It's pretty nice this morning.
Static's very bad. How's the weather in Florida? Good?
I think it was
Baruch
nice.
Hashem. What's the weather here? 78, 70?
Is it balmy? Maybe 40? Too warm for me.
Too warm for you? Yeah,
Yes.
I know. It's a little warm today over here also.
Yesterday was very nice in New York. I mean, I went without, you went out without a jacket for a while.
Yeah, no, very
I like-
nice. We'll see if all the snow melts today or not. Yeah. If you're more interested in snow, someone wrote a sefer. Everything you need to know. What does the Torah say about snow? It's like 400 pages.
It's in English or Hebrew?
English.
An English book on snow and halacha?
Not just halacha, but hashkafas. I mean, there's a lot going on with snow. Snow, white.
Well, we talk
Kashela
about snow every
Galvino.
day in davening.
Yeah, what happened?
In davening, I think every day we mention snow, right? In the Hallelujahs.
Which line?
Yep.
Michelle,
Sure.
Oh, yeah,
Chili.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, okay. Yeah.
Definitely doesn't have much meaning down here, but I'm sure the
What to
Baruch Hashem.
discuss over
Yeah.
there. All right. Well, enjoy the warmer climate over there, and
Emirates Hashem, we will.
all right. Have
You
a
got
wonderful
it.
day.
Take care. Bye bye.
All right, God.
Have a nice day.
All right, God. Have a
All right.
wonderful day.
Likewise.